Welcome to Slacker's Studio, a podcast all about the things we do when we're slacking. We'll be chatting about a variety of things such as gaming, movies, tech news and future gazing. I'm Jack.
And I'm Ed. As will be the norm with the show, we're going to start with the beer of the show.
What is the beer of the show, Ed?
Alright, so this week
get into it.
Is Siren Craft Brew. That's the brewer. We've got Soundwave.
Soundwave?
Yeah. It's an IPA. It's pretty cloudy. Okay, so the siren of Greek mythology would entice mariners with her magical songs. It's gonna be... She is the driest of the siren ales, with a bitterness that bites. But she is balanced with full flavour. Her resinous finish will put you off balance.
I like the sound of that. Her resinous finish will put you off balance. That sounds good, Ed.
Right.
And sexy.
So, I kind of pick beers based on the label.
Yeah, no, I get you.
That's literally the only reason I pick these. But I kind of lean towards an IPA, whether I mean to or not, though. Like,
I did that the other night. Went out with a bunch of workmates, and the first thing that drew my eye was Green King IPA. I was like, that's the first one I want. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think it's kind of
bitter though as well.
Well, yeah, but for me they're safe, I think.
Yes,
I mean, that's the thing. I kind of vaguely know what I'm getting, although this seems quite different because this is apparently unfiltered, which means there is some potential sediment in here, which they said pour slowly if you don't want it in your glass, but we'll see how that goes because it's been in my car on the way here. So.
to put it, to describe it, it's kind of like cloudy lemonade, it looks like, the consistency almost.
There will be some pictures of it on the website as well at the end, so you can kind of see what we're on about. But let's go ahead and open this baby.
Yeah, let's do this. So we actually also have a beer rating scale. I love this bit, hang on. Oh, there's even a little bit of smoke. So our beer rating scale, so it goes from 1 to 5. 1, I hate it, I'd never buy it again, probably not going to finish it, this is dog shoes, it sucks. Number 2, vaguely drinkable, but I'd only ever get it if there was nothing else available. 3, enjoyable to drink, but it's nothing special. If you just want a beer, this would do. 4 is a firm favourite, something that you'd happily have more than one of. And 5 is beer is God! So, let's fill. This looks
this beast
wonderful.
In here. It smells good, though.
Does it? God, yeah, it really is. You can, when they say
cloudy.
Unfiltered, you can see it.
Yeah, it is
God.
literally like pouring cloudy lemonade.
It's the same colour as well.
Yeah.
You sure we haven't been duped here, Ed?
Well, hopefully it's alcoholic. Hey, whatever, it's fine. Wow, it's really pale.
It's a lot more bubbly than I thought for an IPA. Anyway,
Yeah.
Cheers. The clinkiest of clinks.
So last time we had to redo the clink because the one we actually recorded live was terrible.
Terrible,
bad.
Oh, great. Okay. Smells nice.
Ooh.
I quite like that.
Yeah, that's nice and light as well.
Citrusy as well. That's really summery.
I mean, maybe it's because that's what it looks like, but like this is good.
Yes. Soundwave IPA from Siren Craft Brew. That is wonderful. Would entwine into a complex layered melody at Siren Craft Brew. We work in a similar way, combining 4 ingredients. Damn, that's lovely. I would give that... I think I'd have to see again how it goes through the show.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm giving that a 3 to a 4.
Yeah,
I quite like that.
I'm on a solid 3.5 just based on the start, but I think we noticed this last time as well that we kind of enjoyed the beer more as we got through it. Funny that. But yeah, well, I think for now, a provisional 3.5 for me.
Oh God, that's got such a bite.
Yeah, I like
but
it.
I do like it. Cool, right. So whilst we're drinking this and getting bitten by this IPA, let's move on to our week in gaming. So, well, it's actually technically gaming and our lives, so what we've been up to, but to be honest, we're both pretty nerdy.
Yeah.
Gaming's usually our stable thing to do in the evenings when we get back after a day of editing and VFX work. So Ed, what have you been up to?
So, as I kind of mentioned last week, I was away for a few days. It's been 2 weeks since our last show.
That's God.
Yeah, so we've done quite a bit. I was in Romania for a few days for work, which was good fun. Kind of same as usual, just another country. It's bloody hot out there.
Yeah?
And then when I came back, it was kind of...
Meh.
Again. Yeah. But, so gaming. Oh, Christ. It started with the fact that Humble Bundle Monthly had Destiny 2 as part of it. So you pay $12 for the month, and the pre-release game was Destiny 2.
Sick.
So I had tried Destiny 2 because it was free to play like a certain amount of it. I can't remember, a little while ago, and I loved it. But it's kind of expensive. I didn't want to spend like more money on another game that I might play. I have plenty to play, but I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I was playing a warlock. It's not really because you've played Destiny 1, right?
Yeah. No, I actually played a tank because all my friends wanted to be warlocks because there's like some really cool spell stuff you can do. It's like an ultimate ability, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm terrible. Like I barely understand what I'm supposed to be doing with like all the specs and stuff. It's a little bit more complicated than. In fact, it's a bit like in WoW with the artifact powers and the trees and all the different abilities you can spec, but you can't pick all of them.
Yes.
You have to select a certain grouping, and I haven't figured out what the best one is, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. There's lots of different builds for it. It's just so much fun. It's like it is a combination of my favourite games. It's a first-person shooter, but it is an MMORPG. Like it's bonkers.
Is there a leveling system?
Yeah. So you could go to I think level 6 for free. Quite a few games have that these days. You kind of a little bit of a trial.
Catch up.
Yeah. And so I think I'm like level 16 out of 25. I think it is. I haven't bought any of the expansion stuff yet. I'm kind of just going to play it through. I've barely touched any of it. It feels like, but it's a lot of fun. Like I definitely recommend it. I mean, for $12, you get that and a few other games that will come out on the monthly. So I think
and it goes to charity.
Yeah. Exactly. What more could you ask for? Oh God, do you want to start with one of your next ones? Because I could go on forever about what I've done in WoW this week.
Go on then. Well, yeah, I'll start off with a few things, then we'll smash into the World of Warcraft bit. So, a game that we both play is Overwatch, and they added a new map to it called Rialto, which is based in Italy, and this is for an arcade section of the map. So, if you win this arcade game, you get a tick, and when you get 3 ticks, you get a loot box, which gives you items, in-game stuff, or it gives you a chance to get a really rare item. So, to get a new map was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But my God, it's always tough when you first get a new map out to try and get used to where everything was.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been out for this is the thing. So it's probably been out for about a month, relatively, because we had Retribution as well, which was based on that map. You kind of fighting your way through a series of bots, effectively, in this map. But then they released it as a new actual kind of it's a payload map, isn't it?
It's a payload map.
And I get so lost on it still. Like.
Yeah. But this is the thing. When I was playing that, we all moved forward and we did this comp called the Pirate Ship, which is a really good fun one. So you get a character called Orisa who has a shield in front of her and she jumps on the front, puts the shield down. You get Reinhardt who has a massive shield at the back, and then you get 2 characters. You get this one guy who makes turrets called Torbjorn, and you get Bastion, and you chuck them both up, and then you get a healer of some sort, be it Moira or some other character. And you just sit on the payload and you just watch this thing slowly move around the map whilst no one can get through your shields and you're getting shot by all sorts of mechanical auto aimbot bullshittery.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely wonderful. And we thought we were hot shit, right, getting through this map. We got to the first point in about 10 seconds. Like, yeah, we fucking got this. But because I forgot that there's like flanking, there's little areas you can get around, we just got decimated within 5 minutes. And we're like, what do we do? What do we change to? I don't know. As soon as we spawn, we get shot by a Widowmaker, one of the sniper characters. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, there's so many places to hide, isn't there? Like, and I still don't know everything about Blizzard World, and that's been out for like
oh God,
months.
Me neither. I love stumbling across something on Blizzard World because it's like a little Easter egg as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Which is another one of the maps that's kind of most recent, and I think it's great. Like, the maps make the biggest difference to additions. Like, I think even more so than a new hero.
Yeah.
Because everybody can play it on every character.
True. And talking about new heroes, they've done lots of changes, These are actually changes that made me a little bit proud, but also utterly confused me. So the proud one was I play a character called Junkrat, who is widely hated because he is. You can aim with the character, but you don't really have to aim to a certain degree. It's more about like just chucking bombs in a general area and hoping they hit. So I managed to do 12k hero damage in one game as Junkrat, when what they did is they changed it so the grenades are smaller. So I think the damage doesn't change, but the grenade radius is small, so you have to be more accurate. And I was like, oh no, it's going to throw me off because I'm rubbish at aiming. And I got that much hero damage. That felt amazing. Like, it's very rare nowadays I'll get home from work, I want to play a game, I want to win because I want to get that gratification of winning something. But sometimes something like that, when there has been a change and I still own it, I was like, yeah, that's great. There's a reason I got that golden weapon on that character head. And speaking of other heroes, Hanzo. So Hanzo is this bow character. he had this scatter shot ability, which was fucking hated.
Yeah.
Absolute pain in the arsehole. So you'll basically be running around the corner, you'll see this guy aiming at you, go, shit! You run back, and suddenly a hail of arrows will start following you through the corridor, and one of them hits you, and you die. So Blizzard said, you know what? No, we're not having this. Nah, not having it, mate. Lads, let's get together. And he's got a new ability where he actually chucks out loads of arrows really fast.
Yeah, is it Storm Arrow or something?
Storm Arrow, something like that. Probably got it wrong, so, listeners, please tell us. But Storm Arrow, so he shoots things really fast. And I was thinking, okay, that's kind of cool, so he doesn't have Scatter Arrow. But there are some guys that already have mastered Storm Arrow.
Oh, God, yeah.
So you go out, you just get bam, 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 and you're dead. And you're like, holy shit. And just like, William Tell's got nothing on Hanzo at the moment.
And it's like watching the kill cam of you getting murdered, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely... It is ruinous, but it's also great fun. Because I tried to play him, and I was thinking, oh yeah, if I did the Storm Arrow thing, it would be fine. And you get that one kill, and it feels amazing.
Yeah.
But again, no, I just absolutely terrible aim. I was like, I should go back to Junkrat, try and close the distance.
Yeah, I mean...
Or something, or Brick Eater, and hide behind a big shield.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I've tried to play a new character in Overwatch this week, which is Phara. So, kind of a similar sort of thing. So there's a variety of different types of heroes. Some their weapons immediately hit wherever you're aiming, and others do not.
Yeah, hit scan.
Hit scan, whatever the other one's called. So Phara is one of these things where actually they've got travel time for their weapons. So she's got a rocket launcher, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. Like, I'm terrible at aiming because it's kind of that thing. You have got to preempt where it's going to go.
Yes, like Doom.
Yeah. It's going to get to them eventually, but you've got to aim it. So, I mean, God, it's fun. I somehow ended up with, like, player of the game in my first match. I don't know how that happened. It was like, I got 3 people with her ultimate of, like,
So
which is
good.
a missile barrage, basically. But it's the same thing with Hanzo. It's kind of that, because the weapon has got a travel time, you've got to slightly preempt it, and it's a lot more challenging to aim than you think.
Yeah, when you get that hit though.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
You go tink, and that person goes down. You go yes, and then somebody spams in the chat going, "You're a hacker. I've reported you. You're horrible. I hate your face."
The funniest thing I had was that so Phara also has like I think it's her E that's like a knockback, a stun thing. I managed to knock back a Widowmaker into the river of Rialto.
Oh, that's even better.
And for some reason, everybody dies when they fall in the water. Clearly, no one
swims.
Swim. Yeah, but that was just quite entertaining for me.
That next champion confirmed. This champion only swims.
Yeah, right.
New map, Atlantis.
Yeah, right. That would be brilliant. Like Aquaman. Like, Christ. So,
Sneaky bastard.
Wow, have you been playing much Warcraft this week?
Yes, I have. I know you've been playing lots of Warcraft.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily like a lot of time, but like I got a lot done.
Yeah, you did.
I got the Druid class mount. My God, this feels like a long time ago. This was like
last weekend.
Yeah, not too long after we recorded the last show, actually. Well, the first show. Druid class mount, a lot of fun. You're kind of like this big kind of owl hybrid thing. Druids are kind of animal shapeshifters, for those who don't know. There's a lot of scenarios that you go through. It's a lot of fun, but the biggest problem is how much stuff you have to complete to be able to unlock that class mount.
It's a bitch.
It is. I mean, so I've got 2 of them now. I've got the warrior one, which is kind of my main that I've played a lot. And kind of do everything first on him, but then now I've got the druid. I was considering getting the demon hunter one because I'm probably closest to him on that, but it's just there's so many different things you have to grind, like the entire Broken Shore campaign, like a load of other stuff. It's tough to do on more than one character. I guess that's the point though.
Yeah, it's a slog, but I mean you'll be able to get those after this expansion, isn't that correct? However, at the same point, you don't really want to trawl through old stuff when there's new stuff, if you get what I mean. Whereas at the moment it's in that end of expansion stasis where it's the same thing until BFA comes out.
Yeah, I mean, so there's something that I haven't done from a previous expansion, which is to get flying for Draenor. And if I'd have done it at the time, it probably would have been fine. But it's in really old zones. I hate it. It's impossible. I'm never going to do it, basically, is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm never going to do it. So the more I get done of Legion now, well, I'm not going to do it later. Like, not really.
That's it.
Unless it's something I can do while I'm leveling. But the other thing I've done is I crash leveled engineering.
Yes, tell me about this, because I'm terrible at leveling professions.
So I went from 0 to 800, which is the maximum skill level for engineering currently, and I managed to do it on just 2. Jack is trying to sneakily and very quietly eat beef jerky.
No, I'm not.
So 0 to 800 on just 2 recipes, or patterns, schematics, whatever they are. I guess they're schematics for engineering. Now, there's a website called, I think it's wow-professions.com, which has kind of got a great list of guides to get to...
Never seen it.
I mean, if you just like Google, say, dual crafting engineering or whatever profession guide, this will be the first thing that comes
Wicked.
up. But so yeah, it's literally 2 patterns. So a lot of it is you've got to do all these quests because all the professions have a bunch of quests in Legion. My problem with that is that a lot of them also have then at least 3, if not more, dungeon quests.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Which, if you're trying to do things on your own, like, and just get stuff done, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, all of the professions have it. It's kind of like just this hurdle you hit, and it's like,
I just said that with alchemy. They're like, you should go to the thingy of Ashara, and I'm like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I've got the Tidestone, I've got the tattoo, I've got the shirt, I killed a few seagulls,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh man, those seagulls, seriously, like, they can still wipe a group. Like,
And the snails.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of times I've been dazed by those fucking snails.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
But that's cool.
But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I then had to go from 1 to about, I think it's like 750. It was 1 pattern. It isn't a normal pattern. It only drops from a certain number of mobs, which it happened to be a bunch of goblins that I had to slaughter for about an hour.
Kill all the goblins.
Yeah. There's only a handful of the mob type. I can't even remember. I think it's a Laystone boy, which is as in BOUY, as in fishing boy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you know how they change, like the fishing bobber.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. Do you know what? I don't even know. I made like 300 of the things. I don't know what they do. But that's really... Because it takes so little materials to do, but you have to farm it in the first place. And then I think I just made grenades for the rest of the last thing. But it's really easy. I'm tempted to try and get every profession to 800. Which is difficult because of the time. But I'm kind of halfway there.
Do you know what the genius thing about doing that also is? I only realised they did this in Legion, but if you learn another profession, you go back to another one, there's a tome you can read, which gives you back everything you didn't, which you unlearned choosing the second profession. So you can literally, you could dip between professions having done this little challenge on one character. That's the bitch. But you could do that, and that'd be incredible.
But you see, my problem was, I was like, I don't have enough max level characters to then do all of this. And I've got kind of some Horde and some Alliance as well, so it's kind of like I'd have to split it across rounds. But I hadn't really thought about that because I could just drop it, level another one, drop it, level another one.
That's exactly it. I think that's a way you can do it.
Yeah, I might do that then. So yeah, it's been good fun. I think the next one I'm pretty close with kind of enchanting and tailoring. I think.
They're tough to get up. There's lots of materials.
Yeah, this is the thing. They're not the easiest things to farm for.
Yeah.
The cloth is kind of random world drops.
You can get things with... I think if you get reputations with certain factions, you can get shoulder enchant. Which means that when you kill things, you get them more often, which is really helpful.
Yeah. They've got that on, like, pretty much all of the professions seem to have that now, which is great. I mean... Kind of my overall impression of Legion has been not great for olds.
Yeah? Totally.
I think we kind of discussed this last time as well, as it's like, you've got one character, you do all of the things, and that's fine. But there's so many things to do, and everything is kind of gated behind another thing that you've got to do, and this, that, and the other. So, kind of, the whole leveling professions thing has been a bit of a challenge, really.
I'm not doing that Suramar questline again.
Oh, no.
That took like near a month, and it was great finishing it. Cause like, oh god, I got through this massive epic quest, and I got a new artifact appearance. But I can't be asked to do that again, dude. No way.
No. I mean, again, I had.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Definitely not me. That's for sure. Like, playtime is limited. But I kind of looked to get into more artifact appearances because those are the things that apparently you may not be able to get
I've heard that's near impossible to get back, or not at all, because you have to destroy your artifact weapon.
Oh no, really?
I think that's what they're going for in BFA. Now, that's not necessarily a spoiler, but that's wide common knowledge throughout the entire WoW community, is that what they're going to do with the WoW artifact. So, when we went into Legion, we were given a super cool weapon, like all the Shadow Priests, which is my main character for the time, was given a knife that could speak to you, which was awesome.
Hilarious,
my knifeu.
Yeah.
And she'd go like, you'd kill a load of mobs, or you'd kill a bunch of players, and like, this is great. And she'd go, delicious. And you're like, oh, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Marry me. But then you might have to destroy these weapons, because I've seen people in the next expansion with completely different weapons. Non-artifact, no names, just standard ass knife and fork, whether it's like, this one I had was just a game ender.
Yeah. I mean, the artifact thing isn't quite going away though. Because you've got this neck piece.
It's an armour. It's artifact armour now.
So everybody will have a neck item slot thing that I think will function similarly, but I don't know how it's all going to work yet. But hey, only a few months to go.
God, yeah, it is. It's not long now.
No, it's like middle of August or something.
Good God.
Cool. Okay. I think that's all the gaming I've done. I mean, alright, so back to Overwatch for a bit. Playing Ana a lot more.
Yeah.
Again. The trouble is, she's a sniper who's a healer, right? But so that means you've got to be good at aiming to heal.
Give Ana buffs. Confirmed.
Well, yeah, it's going to be changing. There's a few things on the PTR which should make it easier to hit people who need to be hit, whether it be you're aiming for the bad guy but your tank gets in the way of you, who's at full health, or you're trying to aim at the little DPS out in the field, but then your big fat Roadhog tank comes and gets in your way. Like, that should solve that problem. However, I do a lot of pre-healing with Ana, which means when you shoot one of your allies, they get kind of a heal over time effect, basically. So I would shoot them as we go into a fight.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
That the first time they get hit is kind of negated because they're being healed still. That probably won't happen with this new thing because it's meant to travel through full health allies.
Oh, I don't... That's weird. I never thought of that.
Yeah. We'll see. It could be fun. I mean, it's still on the PTR. It may work out great because I actually do find it a problem currently when you, like, I'm trying to hit the guy behind you, like, get
Perhaps they could have some sort of identity system where you have a wider hitbox for allies, but a normal hitbox for enemies, because Widowmakers, of course, they shouldn't have any sort of hitbox change because there are some. I mean, if you watch Pine in the Overwatch League go headshot on people, and, he uses Deadeye and McCree to reload, that's sort of bull, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some people just have that incredible accuracy.
I mean, the trouble is, that kind of already exists with Ana. It's easy, apparently, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers or whatever, but it is easier to hit your allies.
Okay.
Already.
I'm just terrible at aiming then.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. Like, so am I. I love the idea of her, but I'm not great at aiming. So
yeah, Slacker Studio, Aim Imperfect. That's the title of the show. Yeah. Aim Imperfect.
Oh yes.
I mean, for gaming news for me, I've been playing lots of Warcraft. I was my character at the moment I've been playing as a rogue, so I changed my rogue from Alliance to Horde. Because I wanted to kind of stick more the Horde side, so I had a character in each. Because BFA, the next expansion, Battle for Azeroth, is going to be a big war between the Alliance and the Horde. Big one, apparently. And, excuse me, God, that IPA is really bubbly. And it's going to be epic battlegroundy bits and war fronts and all sorts of things. So I was like, well, if everything's going sour as a rogue, I can just hide because I'm very strategically minded and I don't like dying, Ed.
Yeah.
But I was like, so I made my rogue Horde. I was trying out all the specializations. So I created this MMO champion thread on.
Oh yeah.
And I basically said to them, look, I've been a Shadow Priest for years, guys. I want to change to rogue. Help a brother out. Tell me what you think the best spec will be going into the new expansion. Oh my gosh, that thing took off. There's like 6 pages on it now, with over 10,000 views. And I was like, I just wanted someone to say assassination. And people arguing, saying, oh no, subtlety's great. No, let's go for outlaw. I like to be a pirate, and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, guys, you still haven't... Okay, so it's assassination because it looks like the most complete build, right?
Yeah.
it was incredible. All I did was ask a simple question. It's gone bang. But it has helped me because I've been playing all 3 different specs for different moments.
Okay.
And they've all been working in their own different ways.
Because this is the thing for me, like, I choose to play a tank most of the time because, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty much impossible to kill this way. But I was playing. Do you know what? I can't even remember what class it was. But basically, it was all DPS. But I could not decide which spec to go for.
Yeah, it's tough. That's the thing with rogues. So in player versus player, as an outlaw rogue, you've got this buff called Thick as Thieves, where if you chuck your tricks of the trade on a friendly player for 15 seconds. No, I think I'm mixing that up. For 6 seconds, you get a 15% increase in damage. And that burst on a normal person is insane.
Yeah.
And you've got all the stuns, you've got Between the Eyes, which is another stun, and you're not particularly great on your own, but as a team player, it's ridiculous. And you delete warriors with an ability called Riposte, who, when they hit you, it's 100% dodge or blunt or whatever, but their damage is reflected back 30%. So my damage plus their 30% when they're wailing on me.
Yeah.
And I've had people message me saying, how did you kill me? How did that work? And me explaining it. So, well, an outlaw rogue has that. He goes, well, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, but that's Legion. Legion's so...
Yeah.
If you're a caster, you're pretty much doomed unless you're good. Yeah. I don't know, if you watch some of the WoW PvP finals, there's lots of casters I would never even dream of playing in PvP, but they've just got minds for it. But that's it. So lots of trying out new specs, and leading on to that, I got the Defilers tablet finally in Arathi Basin.
Yeah.
This is my second character of getting it on. I played a lot of Arathi Basin, Ed.
Yeah, dude, because that's tough. That's a lot of honour.
That's above 300 games wins, I believe, of Arathi Basin, and sitting near a flag and defending it for hours and hours of my life to get this little banner called the Defilers banner, which has like a green skull in the middle. It's really cool. But it is a mark of I've been here for a damn long time. And to have them on 2 characters, my 2 prime characters that I'm still playing to this day, my rogue being one of the first characters I played, was such an achievement for me, and it felt like such a good way of ending last weekend. Because I finally got that whilst, just chilling out and having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, Arathi Basin is not... Hang on, are we talking Arathi Basin or Outer?
Yeah, no, Arathi Basin.
Right. That is kind of one of the classic ones, really. I mean, it wasn't one of the first, but it's also not the one that takes the longest to do. Alterac Valley.
Alterac Valley takes forever. But then back in Classic or whatever they call it, Vanilla, should I say, because people are, Classic, it's not Classic. Yeah. What's my favourite ice cream? Vanilla. It's like, well, that used to take hours, and it could take hours. And you could summon big mobs to fight with you. But that was great fun. However, nowadays it's just a bit of a ruffle stomp. Horde tends to lose, or if they win, it's because they've pulled something out of the bag, or you're playing against Russians who just want honour kills instead of actual... Which I can fit. They have their own gameplay style, which is really tough to play against. But regardless, so I've been really enjoying the rogue. That's pretty much most of my gaming this week was just playing this rogue. I did lots of 3D stuff. 3D stuff at work. Yeah. Going on to actual lifey bits.
Yeah.
So I was asked to do this 11K render. It took about 6 hours a frame. That's such a long time. So it eventually got to about 135 hours where they were like, do you know what? Let's just kill it because 6 hours a frame for a turntable.
Right.
Which is so when I make a model in 3D, in order to present it to people, you put a light on it and you do like a 360 camera spin so you can see all sides of the object. And that's called a turntable. So when you increase the size of the picture that you're going to finally output, that also increases the time it takes for it to process it, which is what we call rendering. So when you finish a video in Windows Movie Maker and you slap a funny banner on it or some slow-mo, it takes a little bit longer because you've added those effects. It's the same in 3D. 6 hours a frame though. So I was sitting there for a single picture to load. That's like in the early 1990s trying to watch something dodgy on your screen and seeing it slowly, line by line, pixel by pixel, dial up. And then someone has a phone call and it knocks out the internet, so no boobs for you. It's like that, but there's no boobs, it's all work and it's no play. But no, it was good fun. However, I found that quite interesting, was seeing how you can push the limits of a computer. And I was using about 4 computers to try and make this single image.
I mean, this is the thing I don't get, though, is that like after 136 hours, how far had you got left to go? Because you cancelled it, right?
Yeah, I got through about 80 frames, about 80 to 81 frames. That's 81 pictures. And if you think per second's worth of television footage is about 25 frames. So 25 pictures goes into a second's worth of viewing.
Yeah.
And if you think a single frame takes 6 hours, that's an insane amount of time.
Yeah, just not worth it.
Yeah, VFX is an interesting thing. But yeah, that's what I got up to in terms of actual work week. It was fun and it was kind of cool to stress test it.
Yeah.
But yeah, life of a 3D artist is a weird one, so...
Yeah, just the sheer amount of time spent on that as well is just bonkers, because it's not like you can do much else while it's going.
And that's exactly it, because somebody said to me, oh, can you just give me an update? I'm like, the update is nothing. It's done nothing. We're not even a quarter of a way through it. It's nothing. It's gone. It doesn't work. No, there's no words there. And that's it. It's just insane. But that's it. Apart from that, I moved my mate out of his house into his flat, got sunburnt, did airsoft, which is kind of like paintballing.
Yeah.
And that was another thing to do with the hit scan. I'm better on hit scan in real life than I am in gaming. So I borrowed my friend Phil's sniper rifle and managed to get a headshot.
Yeah. Nice.
And that was the best feeling ever. I did feel bad for the guy, because that's the only thing I could see on him. I couldn't see his chest. I couldn't see any part of him. Just his head. Shot his head, and I was like, yeah! And then I got hit with a grenade, and it went bang, and my hearing went, and I got destroyed for the rest of the round. But yeah, so, you know, you could say all your Annas, you could say all your Widowmakers.
Yeah.
I Widowmakered in real life, damn it.
But so airsoft, right? So theoretically metal pellets, right?
No, plastic.
Plastic pellets.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
metal,
yeah.
that
But
hurt.
when a grenade goes off, what's coming out the grenade?
Depends. So sometimes it's nothing, it's just a loud bang, but then they kind of say, okay, you're within X amount of feet of it, you go out. Sometimes it can be BBs and they sting, or it could be like little clay projectiles, which which I think they disapparate when they hit. Disapparate? What, the fucking Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, yeah.
You know what I mean? They hit your skin and they explode.
Yeah.
They don't go
Disintegrate.
disintegrate, not disapparate. They don't go to the middle of the woods to hunt Horcruxes.
No.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be good fun.
But yeah, that's what they do. So you get hit with the grenade. I think this one wasn't a... I don't actually think it was a pellet one. I think it was just really loud.
Right.
And went off and I had to go back because I wasn't behind hard cover. So you can't use a friend as hard cover, which you wish you could. Or rhododendron doesn't count as hard cover either because it's like birdshot almost.
Yeah, right. Oh god, no, that would not be good. I mean, I've had paintball grenades go off.
Yeah?
That is just a mess.
That sucks. I've never had that.
Yeah. That's not good.
Plasters the side of your head.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly. You got like the mask on with the goggles, and it's like across your face.
New Picasso artwork.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly that. All right.
Eddie Durr.
Let's move away from gaming, which has been the first half hour of our show.
God, yeah.
Kind of movies now. So I haven't been to cinema. I haven't been to cinema.
Neither have I, man.
No.
You're usually my cinema partner.
I know. I wasn't here, and then like literally the only thing at the cinema is Avengers, which I still want to see again. But I did manage to watch John Wick 2 finally. So, short story, loved it. Fucking brilliant.
It's amazing.
Like one of the best films I've seen.
I love John Wick. Both of those films are killer.
Yeah, I mean, I literally the first one I watched not that long ago either. This one I sadly watched on the plane over to Romania, but still, even on a little screen, like just incredible. There's a fantastic bit, without spoiling anything. There's like, John Wick goes into the hotel, asks the receptionist bloke, "Is the sommelier in?"
Oh yeah.
So the wine tasty person goes in, orders wine with like, I think I'd like something with a kind of a rich, warm, this, that, and the other. But look, he's basically, if you were just listening to it, it genuinely sounds like he's ordering wine.
Yeah.
But actually, it's a series of weapons.
Yeah, it's so wonderful.
Just a brilliant scene. It's such a clever idea, and I absolutely loved it. Like the visuals of the film as well.
I love that scene too. It's the new Terran Tactical Glock. Would you like to try our Swedish selection?
Yeah,
it's so good. Or it's the so this is our can I have a nail dessert?
Yes.
It's like we have our finest cutlery, freshly stoned. You're like, oh, it's so awesome. I want to be that guy.
Yeah, like just
spending a day fighting around with guns.
Yeah, like absolutely beautiful scene. Like so well put together. The whole film just looks incredible as well.
It's one of those things that for a long time an action film always has to have some sort of love triangle or someone he's saving or someone she's saving technically. But there's never just straight balls to the wall firing and cool stuff, and that's what I love about John Wick.
Not since the raid.
Not since the raid, no. And that's what I love about John Wick, is that, like, you know, as soon as it finished, though, as soon as that first one was out, everyone was looking for Terran tactical bits.
Yeah.
In the airsoft community, they're all like, oh, we really want to get that metal slide for the Glock we've got, because that's what John Wick has.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I think the Terran tactical could have been the second film, sorry.
Yeah.
The first film was like this, God, I can't remember, HK 45, whatever it was. Whatever gun he had in the first one, that was sought after as well. But it's just so awesome. And I want a bulletproof suit.
That was the best bit.
So cool.
He goes to a tailor and there's like,
Again.
How long do you want it, this, that and the other. What sort of material are you thinking? And what about the lining, sir?
Tactical. So awesome.
I was just like, holy shit, that's fucking brilliant.
So like, wicked.
Absolutely fantastic. It's like, it's bulletproof, but it might sting a little still. But it's like, because it's like a millimetre thick lining that, I mean, Christ, if this stuff exists, which it probably does, that's fucking cool. Because
that is awesome.
Like, especially for, I don't know, Secret Service, this and the other. I mean, it must cost a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
But, cool.
Imagine, what kind of suit would you like? Well, I've got this lovely Primark suit. I'd love you to interweave.
Yeah, right.
Interweave armour plating between my Primark suit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That is a fantastic film. Yeah. I completely agree. I can't wait for another one.
No, and they are in filming. So they've either finished filming or they're still filming. But I've seen, it looks like we're going to China for some of it.
Nice.
I think, or it's just like Chinatown in New York. But like either way, it's pretty damn cool.
Sick.
So you've watched Ace Ventura.
Yeah, so I've not been to the cinema either. So usually the two people I usually go to the cinema with is either yourself, Ed, or Ed's girlfriend, or I go with my friend Tom Scott, and we have days where we just binge films. So we'll watch, like last year we watched loads of art house films, or kind of, you know, not what I call not blockbustery films, but it's really wicked because we just had loads of things to go through in the summer. But I haven't been able to do that. I haven't done that the last few weeks. I think he's finishing off his course. You've been in a complete different country. Yeah. And I've been a lazy prick. But yeah, I've been watching lots of films on the train coming back home, and some stuff from my older films. So Ace Ventura, Pet Detective on Netflix, right? And it was great because as I was watching this film, you notice people in the shine of your phone watching over your shoulder. So I just got, you know, unlike the normal British characteristic on a train where you avoid everyone like the plague, I was like, let's just take the headphone jack out and we'll all watch it. And I had this wonderful moment where I watched Ace Ventura with about 4 people who were all severely bored on the Thameslink train home. And other things like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with... but that's the thing, I love it, but Kevin Costner still has that American accent.
I know.
So there's a moment.
Hilarious.
At the beginning of the film, he puts out his hand to get chopped off by, you know, the Saracen.
Yeah, right.
And he goes, "This is English courage," in the most American accent I've ever heard. And it's so funny, but at the same time, really cool. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is an awesome film. And of course, you've got, actor who passed away.
Severus Snape, yeah.
Yes, Alan Rickman.
That's it.
Yes, Alan Rickman. So wonderful, and he's brilliant. I'll carve your heart out with a spoon. It's like, yes, Alan, cut him out.
Oh, guys, yeah, Alan Rickman is fantastic in that film. Probably like the reason to watch the film.
Yes,
he's
so good.
Fantastic.
He has this command and this presence, kind of like Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I know another fantastic one of his characters. He's tough to beat. It's just his whole tone, I think I've forgotten the comedian, but apparently some kid asked Alan Rickman once why he plays villains. Right.
And he says, "I don't play villains. I play very interesting people." I love that. I love that quote. But apart from films, I've been watching also because I'm a film and TV guy, right? And I like a bit of Studio Ghibli every now and then. Like Grave of the Fireflies, one of the saddest films I've ever seen in my life. I think it's Castle in the Sky or something like that. So my friends are like, "Oh, you should watch some anime." I'm not really an anime guy.
No, me neither, to be honest.
But I decided I'd watch this one called Samurai Champloo. I finished that and it was really cool. It's about like 3 people. One woman who's trying to find this the samurai who smells of sunflowers, and she's got 2 guards who are with her, and the 2 guards are these 2 guys that have sworn to protect her after losing a bet, and they're always trying to kill each other or getting into some sort of shenanigans on the road to Nagasaki, and it was a really great anime. And I really enjoyed that because there was process and there was hip hop and it was cool, and it had music by like Nujabes or Nujabes, however you call him, who unfortunately died in a car accident quite a few years ago. But it was a fantastic one. And then I was asked to watch Sword Art Online.
Okay.
And Sword Art Online is something that you might find quite interesting. However, it still sometimes falls into what I call the anime prose, which I'm not a massive fan of. So Sword Art Online, imagine there's a VR World of Warcraft.
Okay.
And we're both playing a game, and then suddenly you get locked in. So you're not allowed to escape. You can't escape World of Warcraft. You're stuck in there. If you die in real life.
Right, yeah.
Right? And you have to keep on leveling. And so if you die in PvP, you always die in real life. In order to actually escape, somebody in the game has to beat the end boss without dying. So
Okay.
imagine trying to beat current content with not a single wipe. If you wipe once,
Christ.
everyone dies. That's Sword Art Online, the first one.
Actually dies.
Yeah, it actually dies in real life. I thought it was a genius idea.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first series. There was a few wimpy moments and too much crying and all this extra scruff.
Yeah.
But in the second season, there are moments where all the female characters having incredibly large knockers, right? And there's always a screen presence, which makes it really tough for me to watch on the train.
Yeah.
So for goodness sake, anime, please, like, give me something I can watch on the train without either some sort of, bum shot or heavy boobage.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like your stereotypical impression.
Yeah,
of
it is.
And like, people on the train will be like, the fuck?
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's like some guy was caught watching Archer, and I knew exactly the scene that was coming up.
Yeah.
And it gets very, like, it's full-blown kind of sex scene that goes on. And I start getting the giggles because I know exactly, because I watched that episode
I love Archer so
that
much.
night, the night before.
Right.
And there's this kind of beardy Welshman, and he immediately starts blushing and kind of hides his phone against his chest. I'm like, I've been there, man. I've been there. Sword Art Online Season 2. I've been there. But I was sitting next to an old lady, and she goes, do you think that's appropriate? And I was like, I thought it was appropriate until now, madam. I'm really sorry. So I then swapped over to World War History. Big mistake.
Oh, no.
All covered the Holocaust. So I went from Sword Art Online, the second one, to clicking play and where I'd finished off the night before. And there's like dead bodies everywhere. And I was like, oh God, I can't win. I should watch something really nice, like Great British Bake Off or something.
Right,
and that's just what I need to stick to on my ways back.
Traumatised an old lady.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. So yeah, that was the main highlight of my week, I guess. Traumatising a poor old lady with anime and World War II memories. Oh God, I'm a terrible person.
Whoops.
Yeah, but at the same point, it was an interesting week of watching old stuff and new stuff, and I thought it was kind of nice being able to break the barrier of what I perceive, because I usually just watch TV and movies. I used to like Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but I never ever wanted to watch. Whenever I went to Comic-Con, you see all these people in fantastic costumes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's insane the amount of hours they put into it, but I've never kind of delved into that territory myself. So as much as I call myself a nerd, I wouldn't call myself a weeb. I won't spend all day watching anime like some people do, and that's very much their thing to do, and they get so ingrained into it, and that's wicked. However, I'm still getting used to anime convention-y bits.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it. I gotta be honest. It's not really my thing. But everybody has a thing, and I think it's fantastic. Like I just whatever it is, I like it when someone's passionate about something.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Same thing here, man.
And it's everybody's their own thing. That's why the world is interesting. Like it'd be fucking boring if we all like the same thing.
Yeah, if everyone was rogues. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much sap.
Yeah.
So. Speaking about the world and all its other bits, future gazing, what do you hope to do in the next few weeks, Ed?
Something. Actually do something. So...
WoW is something, games I guess.
Games is something. Like, I mean, basically everything we talked about doing last week, I haven't really done. Like, I've learned a bit more kind of After Effects stuff for work, but that's work. Like, I think for me, like, my main aims coming up to hit 800 on every single profession.
I think that's actually a really good one.
Yeah, it's vaguely achievable. Okay, I'm gonna just clarify this. I'm not talking about things like fishing, cooking, or even archaeology, to be honest, because I don't have the time.
Belongs in a museum.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, gaming-wise, I think that's it. And actually, for this show, I want to kind of start making some videos for it as well.
Totally.
So there's going to be a kind of behind the scenes of the studio, previews of the beers coming up for the next few shows. Just kind of stuff and things that we're going to get into, really.
Also, it's a lovely chronicle of time. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, because I mean, this is a new experience for us. Like we're kind of doing stuff, so it makes sense to do video as well, which is where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah, totally. Me too. I mean, I've kind of done a bit of everything I wanted to. I've still been doing this fitness thing, and by fitness thing, I've not been running, dude. I've been doing a 5-2 diet where you fast. You have only like 600 calories on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Right.
So far, it's working for me. So like, I managed to DOS off in the course of a few weeks about 8 pounds.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting there, and I'm feeling better. I'm not gonna lie. This weekend, Eurovision, all this stuff, I've eaten like an absolute pig.
Yeah.
I mean, in the studio today, I've got 2 big boxes of crisps, a massive tub full of flying saucers, and a box full of assorted broken biscuits. That's...
And can I just point out that all of those things are like half empty?
Yeah. Oh God, it's been wonderful. And yeah, I actually haven't gained much on, which is incredible.
I mean, that's good as well. Like,
yes, that's worked.
Not gaining more weight is good.
Swollen, yeah. But that's it. So I've done a little bit of fitness things, and of course with that, a balanced, healthy diet is always advised. But I actually did 3D stuff last week as well, which is kind of cool. It was minor, but that's what I wanted to do, is delve more into the 3D side of things and catch up with some work, and I managed to do that, even though the render fails, of course, the render test failed.
Yeah,
it's just how the world works, man. That's good. I think another thing I've got is I'm having a tooth pulled from my head next week, which will be interesting. So I cracked my tooth, and it's like, is the Slacker Studio telling us there's medical history now?
Yeah, right.
But because I had like a root canal, you can't feel what's going on with that tooth. So when I cracked this tooth, apparently I would have been in a lot of pain if I'd actually felt it, but I didn't. So I'm having that taken out. So I'm actually having a few days next week of having something pulled out of my head, and then an extra day of recuperation.
Man, that's not going to be fun.
Not going to be fun, but I can use that time to go into the beta of Warcraft, or better rogue tactics, or, focus on the Overwatch League, which, if I'm off on Wednesday evening, which I am still recovering, I can watch that, which is great.
I gotta be honest, we all started right at the beginning of Overwatch League, there was a few of us that kind of watched it quite regularly, but I've kind of fallen away from doing that, because
I get
it's
it.
at weird-ass times.
It is at weird-ass times. Funnily enough, they were talking about it recently, because I watch a YouTube channel which does all the highlights. So not even I watch all the matches. I'll watch the highlights on YouTube, because somebody does like a condensed 10-minute version. You can see them all. I can catch up before I start work in the morning. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But I can't watch them all, because they're always at like 2 a.m. or 12, and it's like, it's ridiculous times. They are changing it to make it more EU-friendly, I believe.
Okay, so what is it, season 2? I don't know. I'm really
It'll be season 2, yeah. So you have 4 stages in a single season. At the end of each stage, you get a grand champion of that stage. And I think after the 4 stages, you have a final grand champion for the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an accumulative points or something like that.
It's just fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
Because it's like, it's relatable for us because we're people who play Overwatch, but at the same time, I can't relate to it at all because they're too fucking good.
They are so good. Although I've actually learned quite some good tactics from it. So like watching our team, of course, London Spitfire, unless you like a team that I don't know about, Edward.
Not at all.
No, but I love London Spitfire, and we've got a guy called Gesture, who plays tank, who plays this big monkey called Winston, who jumps in and causes all sorts of chaos. And I was terrible on this guy, because I'd run in, I think, I've got loads of health, where's my health gone, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And having these come in, poke, try and hit them a little bit, and then jumping back to your team, whittle them down a bit, get a bit of ult charge, see if you can pick off a few people, or diving in with a group of people.
Yeah.
And seeing that work has been absolutely incredible. It does change some of my competitive matches.
Yeah, actually, I've felt that as well, and actually surprisingly with Winston as well, because you think, I'm a tank, just run in there and get stuff, but you get wrecked, like so badly. But yeah, it's good fun to watch, and it's hard to implement everything you see.
Oh yeah, and it's positioning is probably one of the things I've picked up on most. So on certain maps, when you play sniper, I was like, I didn't know you could get into that nook, or I didn't know that would be a good place to stay, because it's actually out of the eye shot of all the other people, including the enemy sniper. So they actually are at a disadvantage trying to come round to shoot me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's good fun.
You got a new mouse.
I do have a new mouse. So I got a Corsair.
Scimitar, isn't it?
It's a Scimitar Corsair RGB gaming mouse thingy. Yeah. My last one snapped. This is actually rolling into tech news of the week. Sorry. So I got a mouse. The mouse was wonderful. Mouse suited me for many years, and then it broke. Like literally snapped at the left click I've been left clicking way too much.
Yeah.
Too many dirty links.
Generally, you're supposed to use the left mouse button the most. But
yeah, I know.
It's bonkers. So it literally just sheared off, didn't it?
It did shear off.
You sent me a picture and I was like, oh.
I used Gorilla Glue and it worked for a while, and then I warmed the Gorilla Glue up with excessive clicking. And it broke again, probably because I didn't leave it long enough and I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I got a new mouse, I got a new nice mouse pad, which I'm guessing is similar to yours.
Yeah. So they're not really a mouse pad, they're more of a desk mat.
Yeah, they are a desk mat.
It's about, I think they're 90 centimetres wide and about 40 high or something like that. So it's like neoprene. Kind of thick. It's like a heavy mouse mat. It's fantastic. You can get your keyboard on there, your mouse. You got loads of space.
It's covering everything as well, and I really like it because it looks nice on the desk.
Yeah.
It looks really nice, and everything's on it. So if I'm farting around doing it, because I use right hand, mouse, left hand, all the buttons. It's like gaming. Nothing moves, nothing shifts around unless you want it to, which is lovely.
Yeah. I mean, I got one for home, and then I almost immediately bought another one for work because it's such a difference having.
And you can wash it.
Yeah.
Machine washable, darling. That's a new feature. So, microphone, Ed.
Yeah, so we're still sharing a mic, which actually went really well last week. I mean, minus hitting the table repeatedly. But, hey, I had to return my mouse. Well, that too, but I'll get to that. My microphone to Amazon, and I have ordered an Audio-Technica 1200 blah 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 USB microphone, not mouse, and it's on its way from America.
Sweet.
So hopefully by the next show it should be here, but it's going to take a while to get here, and hopefully it doesn't get lost in customs.
Let's hope not. God, that's what happened with me with Blizzard.
Yeah. It's a shame, but hopefully it'll be good once it finally gets here. And actually the Blue Yeti has done really, really well. It has. My big thing, which I got as a Christmas present years ago, because I was like, I really want a microphone. Let's just go for a really good one. Yeah. And they can all chip together and get me it, and that'll be a nice thing. And I can say, hey, what are you going to do with it? I'm like, nothing. Talk to friends. It's like, you got all these wonderful people who'd kill for this just to use on their guitars and stuff. But hey, I'm using it now. Yeah, finally using it. I mean, the thing is, when you get a good mic, that's it. Mic technology doesn't really change that much. It's all going to be good. So the other problem is I sent my mouse back. I got so I have the same mouse that Jack now has. Oh yeah. The problem I had was that it's a refurb model, so that's worth bearing in mind. Like, there are going to be issues with it, probably, but I paid less for it in the first place. But basically, it wouldn't connect on startup every time. So you'd boot up your PC, everything else like lights up, keyboard's on, this, that, and the other, and the mouse is just dead until you plug it in again. Which, when your PC is under the desk, like, that's a pain in the ass, like, almost every other time you boot. So, theoretically, I will get a new one, and I'll be fine. Good, man, that's fantastic. They're all great mouses so far. Yeah. Corsair, good really support, like I've heard. Yeah, their Corsair support is just fantastic. I've had a few other things. I mean, stuff that isn't, like, a problem, but I've, like, with my Corsair power supply, I was like, I've got too many hard drives for my power supply cable, like, for the SATA cables coming off my power supply. Can you guys tell me which cable I should buy? It's this one, and we'll send you one tomorrow. Like, oh, thanks. Thanks so much. So there's that, yeah. And kind of that's kind of really it. I mean, you've moved more stuff into our studio. I have, yeah. So in the Slackers shed, I actually ended up moving my TV, my PlayStation. I've kind of decided to completely and utterly move all of my media and all my bits into an area separate from my bedroom, because you could just become an absolute one-room hound. Yeah. And I know for some people they can't do that because they're in single-room bedrooms or they're in a flat which is shared. But whilst I've got this space, I might as well use it. And it's nice because, you know, sometimes I'll have like a film going, or I'm waiting for something to download and I want to play a little bit of COD in the background and suck at that too, because it's all about aiming. I could do that, or watch a film, or play an old PlayStation 2 game, or even better, backwards compatibility. I played Tenku Stealth and Assassins, or Stealth Assassins or something the other day. It's an old Ninja PlayStation 1 game, which is notoriously hard to play, but great fun if you're good at it. Yeah, and you guys will be able to see exactly what the studio looks like in the up-and-coming behind-the-scenes video. Yes. We'll be filming later today. You can see my ugly mug. Apart from that, I've been working towards building up a sniper rifle for airsoft after shooting that person in the head and feeling mightily good about it, which is not the nicest thing to feel,
but it is gratification getting the single shot on someone, and they do it all the time to me. So I was like, it'd be nice to have a bit of accessibility when I'm playing the sport. So I have a good machine gun, which I get up and close.
Yeah.
But I'd also like something a little bit long range if I'm hungover, or if I just want to kind of give it a go and want to be a bit more snickety snake.
So because you've already got a sniper rifle,
I do.
Right? Isn't it bright fucking orange?
It was bright fucking orange, and then I ended up I got my UCARA, which is a license you need to get before you buy real imitation firearms, and then I spray painted it black because I was like, fuck this orange. It was literally bright orange. Somebody said, your camouflage was great, but I could see your gun. Everyone couldn't see. That's what they found funny. They said, we couldn't see you, we could see your gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh great, thanks guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you
aim in the vicinity of the gun. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. So I always got shot in the shoulder whenever I was shooting, and I said, well done for you. You could wrap it up though. And I was like, I didn't know that, but oh well. But what I need to do is I need to upgrade the internals, and I need to get a new trigger kit for it. So I have to basically make this thing from scratch, and the outside is just kind of like a shell.
Yeah.
But it is painted black now, so it is a little bit more tactical. Although once I do make it look good, I'm thinking of getting a bunch of spray cans, and if I am going to snipe seriously, start doing the sprays in different seasons. So if it's autumn, have like an orange and brown spray.
Yeah.
If it's spring, quite kind of nice greens or dark greens. If it's winter, probably not a white because we hardly get snow.
Right.
But
muddy brown.
yeah, muddy brown, death, and all that sort of stuff. But I like the idea. That's the creative side away from the computer. Is I guess modding airsoft pistols and all this sort of stuff, because it's fun just going out, and the community's great. I'm at a place called Holmbush Farm, Holmbush Airsoft in Crawley. It's great fun. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing tech wise. New mouse. Moved everything to the shed, building up a sniper, and looking up other people's sick computer rigs online.
Oh yes.
Battle stations.
Yeah, that's actually something I'm going to be working on myself.
Yeah.
But I will get to that when I've actually got my hands on everything I'm going to need.
And when I don't slack enough with money and actually start saving, which is a big thing. So you've... I've heard there's new rumours of GPUs, and I say I've heard, I've literally read off our sheet that there's new rumours of GPUs, and I have no idea.
I don't know. Basically, there was this... We're at the point now that it's been however many years since the last round of graphics cards were released, and we know that people like NVIDIA are working on new ones. So there were some leaks of kind of what the new ones might be, but it's not clear if that's actually the case. But if it is, it makes sense. But also, it's not that impressive. It's like slightly better than the last one.
Yeah.
But like, the idea is that everything is going to be more aimed to 4K, because the problem is you have to have a 1080 Ti, which is kind of the top end NVIDIA graphics card now, or you're not going to be able to play anything at 4K. Not sensibly. Not without really lowering your settings and getting lower than 60 frames a second, which, if you've got a 4K monitor, that's not what you want. Like, you want it to be good. So the idea is that hopefully more things will be able to play good games at 4K at higher frames per second, because there is a very, very expensive set of monitors coming out, which are 4K, 144 hertz. Which basically means the refresh rate of the monitor is much, much higher. So every kind of movement for gaming, just using Windows, everything is smoother.
Isn't that faster than the human eye?
Yes and no is the short answer. I'm not going to go into it, but basically you'll know the difference. You will see the difference. But it's like, great, you've got a 4K 144 hertz like monitor. What the hell are you going to play on? Because like no graphics card can do that. Like unless you're playing like a 10-year-old game, you're not going to get it. So it's going to be interesting.
Nice, dude. I like that. That's wicked.
So we had a bit of feedback from the first episode.
We did. Last week we put out our pincers, our Slacker pincers, and said, ask the Slackers, what have you been up to? And are you succeeding or are you not? Or just generally what you're up to? Because, we like hearing a bit of feedback, and we're trying to create a community and see how everyone is. So we got a few people that have sent in some feedback. One of them is our good friend Frasley, who has been a good friend of ours on the Lagging Balls podcast stream.
Oh, yes.
And Frasley's been reading up on the essentials of speech, which in his own words he says it's a great course. There's a lot of good information for podcasters like me and Ed.
Great for us.
And you can go to publicspeakingproject.org if you want to read their free textbook.
Yeah, so this is something I definitely need to look at because we're going to be doing this a lot more.
Yeah.
We're kind of definitely in this for the long haul, and especially doing more videos. And surprisingly enough, I'm actually working on a public speaking course at work. That's one of the things we're doing.
Wicked.
So I've kind of got hopefully a bit more background on this anyway. But it'd be great to read that. I will certainly be checking that out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we have, it doesn't take much to start a podcast. You can start a bare bones podcast with a good microphone between two mates. It's just us being the creative guys we are. We try and pull as many fronds as we can to make this palm tree look pretty.
Yeah.
And we have, like, our friend Morgan again making the really cool. Symbols and the logo for Slacker Studio and the Slacker Shed, and having all these extra bits available to us. We like to push it out, but you don't even need all that.
No,
just a microphone, a topic, go for it. And I think that's what's great. Reading stuff like what Frasley said. Just start and read up on things like Pat Crane. You're saying about Pat Crane's podcast guide last week.
Yeah. So Pat Crane is he is one of the original groups. I mean, he's been podcasting for well over 10 years, I think it is. And he put together I think it's podcastlaunchpad.com, maybe. I'll put the link in the show notes so you guys can find it. But if you're looking to start a podcast, follow that to the letter, and you'll end up hopefully better than we did. But which can't be hard. But yeah, there we go.
We're still trying, damn it. we slack a little bit whilst we're trying.
Yeah.
Our next listener that actually called in was Ali, and she said, I'm finally listening to the audiobook for Ready Player One. I watched the movie first before listening to the book. I really enjoyed the movie, but I am loving the book.
Yeah, now, I loved the movie too. And actually, the book is on my list. I've got a lot of books on my list. And so Ali's listening to the audiobook, which I can't remember who she said it was narrated by, like Will someone. I don't know, we open Discord and find out. But anyway, I think that's because obviously I listen to podcasts in the car, right?
Yeah.
So it would be no different to listen to an audiobook in the car. So I'm definitely going to be trying to check that one out as well.
I've heard the book's better than the film. But I watched the film first, and I loved the film. I thought it was fantastic. And I like the ideas behind it as well. I'd like to see more of that sort of gaming in the future, just for the sake of...
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if that was the future.
Oh, yeah.
But I've heard things, and that's what they say. They always say, the book's always better than... I mean, look at Eragon, for instance. Eragon, a film I wasn't very, very pleased with at all, but I loved the books.
Yeah.
I thought I read all three of those Bible-sized monstrosities, and they were great fun. And very, very good memories.
Unfortunately, the film was not good.
Yeah. Even with Jeremy Irons spearheading one of the main actors, and Robert Carlyle doing a fantastic performance as Durza, it just wasn't really that great. And another of our listeners, Nick Fletcher, who's a friend of mine who I went to university with, was also a fellow VFX artist, good 3D artist. His suggestion, which is actually quite a good one, which stumped me a bit, he said, instead of going too much into detail about work on the podcast, perhaps go into creative ways you slack at work.
Well, you see, that made immediate sense to me because this is Slacker Studio, it's the stuff we do when we're slacking, and that is not work.
Yeah.
So why we were talking about work quite a lot during the last show, I don't really know, but that makes complete sense and it's something we will definitely be trying to implement.
Yes, now we know that there are certain people that might listen to the podcast and actually know that we do this, but instead we might actually simulate a new thing, which is how to slack.
Yeah.
So the slack of the week, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, our slack of the week, my first thing that comes to mind is, of course, there are a few natural ones. One that comes straight to mind, without being too vulgar, is the dump.
Yeah.
Which is, I've really, really got to go to the loo. I'm sorry, it was a shy one. You spend 20 minutes on your phone, not even doing anything. You just put the toilet lid down and you slack your ass off. Scrolling through Reddit, as Ed said.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Do you have anyone which comes to mind as like a preliminary, the stone age of slacking for any workplace?
I think it depends on your environment. Like, if you're in, an office environment where you've got, a cubicle, I think you've got a bit more scope to do what you want anyway.
Yes.
Get very quick with that Alt-Tab.
Yes.
To switch between windows. That's all I can say.
Or have two monitors and then I mean, one of the ones we have at work is we have producers that are always trying to move my colour monitor slightly outwards, so as they're going past, they can see what I'm working on. And I don't like people walking past. If you want to see what I'm doing, come in and chat with me.
Right. Don't spy on me.
Don't spy on me. So I move my colour monitor and I make it an assessment to move my colour monitors they can't see. And that's usually when I have things like, Reddit or something on the second screen, because, I mean, I work mostly on the first screen anyway. I don't need a second screen. That second screen's for fun, and it's a $6,000 colour monitor. But that's part of the fun, and they all know it. They all come in and they know there's nothing interesting on the second screen, or they'll say, hey, what are you looking at? And I'm like, something happened in London. It's kind of funny. What? Oh, there's a bunch of ducks running around the road, and they all followed it, and there's a little marching band that started out of nothing, and everyone loves it. I love that sort of weird stuff. But that's, small ways of having your own privacy at work. I find is actually, it's as much as it is slacking, privacy at work is actually harder to come by as it goes by, because everyone just wants to see what you're doing 24 hours.
It's tough. It is.
Big brother.
Yeah, do you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm talking about work again. That's fine. Let's carry on. So, what we want from you guys is to tell us what you guys have been up to. We've had some great feedback already, and we've had a load of people listen to the show, but we'd like to hear more from you guys.
Yes, please. I was going to say, I like anything. It could be any gripes during the day, like, oh, for goodness sake, I buttered a load of toast and it fell on the butter side. Anything at all. We love that sort of stuff. So thank you thus far to our first 3 slacker askers. Frasley, Ali and Nick Fletcher. We also thank you, Nick, for the suggestion about the ways of slacking. I'm actually going to boil down a few things over the week and see if I can think of a few. It could be anything. It could be like how to get a message to somebody without emailing, but you could do it inconspicuously if you're trying to get across like a funny meme.
Paper airplane.
Oh, Nick Caging. I need to start doing a lot more Nick Caging at work, which is hiding random pictures of Nick Cage everywhere. Like behind the toaster, under the kettle. So when they go to clean it, there's a picture of Nick Cage's face.
I like that.
Not necessarily slacking, but it's creative slackism, because you're technically using their printer for the Nick Caging, which is even better.
Okie dokie. So, this has been show number 2 of the Slacker Studio podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you check out our website at www.slackerstudio.co.uk, you can find out all our social media links, which are right in your face as soon as you go on the website, including Discord, which is probably the easiest way to get in touch with us, Twitter, Facebook, and kind of anything else.
We everywhere.
And don't
let your boss catching you slacking.
Until next time, this has been Slacker Studio.
Also, that beer went so damn quick.
Let's revisit that. So I've kind of come, like, the beer is good.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that. And I'll stick with my almost 4 rating.
I think 4 rating's a nice one. I'd have another one.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had more. And just next week's beer, there will be a preview on the website, but it is Barrel Aged Innocent Gun Blood Red Sky Rum Barrel Red Beer. There is so many words on the front of this bottle.
And it's dark.
Yeah, so basically it is a rum-infused beer, 6.5% or something like that, and we shall be trying that next week.
Yes, so don't let your boss catch you slacking. Until next time. We'll work on that, by the way.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.